Hello and welcome to this week's Gems of War Guild Event Planner. I am Guardian Namek, Guild Leader of Luton Plunder. This week's focus is on the Invasion event, which includes towers, and we are using constructs. After running some numbers, here are the units you want to use. This is the team I plan on using. Probably, I might switch this for another generator and switch in Shaloswim. I don't know how to say that name, but this character, because generation and non-conflicting colors. The downside is a lot of the amazing mana generator characters or constructs have the same exact mana color as the weekly unit. However, the tower killer for this week is also pretty good for mana, as he can convert 9 blue gems to bleed gems, which are purple gems. So, you might not be spamming him as often. You may just use him when there's a good 4-way or extra turn to convert with, and otherwise try and charge him up for the extra doom skulls and the 4 ways for evil gargoyles, so that ton more doom skulls, meaning more punching from the tower killer. Either way, whether you use the ability or use skulls, you're going to do pretty much about the same amount of damage. So you should be golden no matter which way you do it. Surzun, this one. I don't know how to say these names. He is an amazing mana generator because he makes a bunch of brown, so he helps self-charge, and then he explodes the board. That's pretty much what, with that many gems, is just basically like, hello, I'd like to explode the board. But the only downside is the fact that he shares the same mana, but I'm hoping it should be okay. And if not, I switch him out. And then you can use a good amount of different units for 4 slot. I decided to use the Eternal Flame. I used to use it a lot back in the day. But the key thing is converting a single gem to red and then making a few more. Because of the fact that by converting a single gem, anytime there's a 3-way, or for the most part a 3-way, with red, I can just make that into a 4-way. And then voila, I have a bonus turn and another evil gargoyle on the field and charge him up a little bit. And my idea for this week really is just I'm going to try and punch the towers down. You know, you see these giant towers and you're like, I'm going to punch it. Overall, looking at a lot of different constructs, most of them are about on the mid-level. However, there are some constructs that are absolute gold. And some of those are for the damage. Not that you really need any extra damage beyond tower killer due to the fact that it is towers. It is one of my favorite things about towers is that you just need 1 damage and they cover the rest. But if you wanted to use cunning but couldn't from one of these previous weeks because it is purple, not, I think red was a requirement. Blue maybe. For I think it was red for the Raksha the other week. This one does so much damage due to how much bonus damage he gets from that boosted by enemy's life. Depending though, if that is the target enemies or all enemies. It may be just the combination of enemies, so either way, I think it should still do some really good damage due to the multi-target, at least at first. And then also you can spam it with something that makes a bunch of gems and just boost them to high health, where it's like, yeah, I do a lot of damage now. Another amazing damage unit is the Gargoyle from the Hall of Guardians, so fairly easy to get. Also only the epic rarity, so not as difficult as the legendary. They are wonderful due to the fact they do some splash damage, and then it's boosted by allies' attack, which is wonderful because suddenly it becomes so much more damage. And on the actual team that it's usually with, it has something to boost your ally attack, so it makes it even stronger And on top of that, it explodes 2 gems, which isn't much, but that is 8 mana that then is getting generated. Whether it's, for back to him, most unlikely, just because probably won't be just red and brown that gets exploded. But, for the team, it's going to be at least 8 mana, or not at least, at most 8 mana. But overall, still very effective. And once again, you can also use the Ori, as it does some wonderful damage. I don't know if I missed this in my calculations, but I just noticed yesterday that it does actually say boosted by purple and yellow gems. And I was like, oh, I didn't notice that last time when I was actually using it. So I was only using it at partial power. But it still is wonderful due to the fact that it does a lot of AoE and destroys a row and column. Probably won't be needing it this week. You can probably use the Orrery or another AoE unit for early on, just to smash through the lower tiers. Another option is from the Obsidian Deaths, Axis, as it does AoE damage and boosted by Gargoyle Gems, and it likes to put Gargoyle Gems. And the fact that it generates evil Gargoyle Gems does help out with Zenith. However, it also has conflicting mana. I swear, almost every construct, not every construct, a large number of constructs love to be purple and brown, I've noticed. Okay, now with the mana, I've already covered Surzanubog, as generates and explodes the board. The Ori, as we just covered. Shaladoni, the one that generates 10 brown gems that I showed earlier on. And also, I'll point out the Jeweled Golem, who also uses brown and purple. They are very good, especially for bonus turns as they generate wild cards. Namely, you can consistently get anywhere from 5 to 7 wild cards, which are just nearly guaranteed to give you a bonus turn, or at the very least, give you your mana back, because that's just really effective. But because he uses purple and brown, it just isn't going to be necessarily too useful. Though potentially, still could be better than Surzanubog. But I do like explosions, so we're going with explosions. I hope this info was helpful for both starting and veteran players of Gems of War. If it was helpful to you, give that subscribe button a click, as I plan on doing these every Monday, both to help my guild and for fun. Till next week, have fun plundering. Bye bye!